Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news that turbulence will continue this coming week, with the US President lashing out because his signature tariff policies aren't producing the economic growth or the reshoring he anticipated, and other countries have worked out how to game him. His new lashes are at the EU and Apple for not reshoring. But first we should note, in China, their central bank injected 500 billion yuan in new liquidity into financial institutions through their one-year medium-term lending facility on Friday. And China's net foreign direct investment actually fell in April from March, a very unusual shift. This is the first we have ever seen where there was a net outflow of foreign investment from China in a month. And Nikkei is reporting that the protracted real estate woes there are pushing down lending rates, and now 80% of Chinese banks have seen their interest margins fall below the industry threshold for profitability, raising concerns over the sector's stability. And Japanese inflation is holding high, came in at 3.6% in April. Although food prices rose the least in 4 months, they were still up 6.5% from a year ago. In Singapore, April CPI inflation held there very low at 0.9%, but that belies a monthly fall of 0.3% from March. This is the second month in a row they've had month-on-month deflation. And Taiwanese retail sales growth was weak again in April. It hasn't really recovered after the unexpectedly large drop in February, bumping along essentially at year-ago levels. But Taiwanese industrial production is on fire, rising another sharp 22% in April from the same month a year ago. That is their best growth rate on record for them, apart from the distorted pandemic recovery. And across the Pacific in the US, this is the long Memorial Day holiday weekend, the start of their summer season, which won't end until their Labor Day holiday in September. Traditionally, investors sold in May and went away because volumes lighten and become more volatile over this northern summer period. And in Australia and on the eastern seaboard, it has been very wet with widespread flooding, and that is having a substantial impact on rural output. In particular, milk volumes are falling and milk prices are rising fast. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.51% and down 1 basis point from this time on Saturday. And the price of gold will start today at $3,357 an ounce and down $5 from Saturday, but that makes it $170 higher than a week ago, a 5.5% jump. And oil prices are holding at just on $61.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is still just under $65 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is now at 59.9 US cents. Although that's unchanged from Saturday, it's up from 58.8 US cents a week ago, and outsized 110 basis points rise since then. Against the Aussie, we're holding at just under 92.2 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're unchanged at 52.7 euro cents. That all means our trade weighted index starts today at just under 67.8, unchanged from Saturday, but up 40 basis points for the week. You can get more news about the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.